Christmas Eve tradition. If you're a lonely fuck like sometimes I am, and on Christmas Eve, and you got nothing else, you got shit to do, you know what you do? And I've done this many years. You tune into the Hawaii Bowl and you bet the Hawaii Bowl. That's what you do on Christmas Eve. It's a Christmas Eve tradition. Christmas Eve night, Hawaii Bowl in Honolulu, Middle Tennessee State, San Diego State. San Diego State, 3.5-point favorites here, 47 being the total in this game. Fascinating because San Diego State, I'll say this right now. San Diego State obviously is in the Mountain West, same conference as Hawaii. They go to Hawaii a lot. Is that, going to be all that exciting for California? They already see enough warm weather, sunshine, in San Diego year round. And plus they play Hawaii most years. Meanwhile, you got Middle Tennessee. They're enthusiastic to be here, but sometimes kids, especially from, Middle Tennessee, they might treat this more like a vacation and, get a little sun in. Vacation? Is it about winning a football game, winning a bowl game? That's the question. That being said, I'm going to dive into just the motivational elements as we get closer to Christmas Eve. We'll find out more. But I'm definitely thinking just if you throw out motivation, you look at the matchup here, I'm not laying points with San Diego State because we know how dreadful they've been laying points. They laid points against New Mexico. They did cover. That was the one really clear piece of evidence that they won and covered as favorites. That and Nevada, two horrendous football teams this year. But they were also favorites to UNLV, didn't cover. Favorites against Hawaii. They were life and death to win that game. And then early in the season, they were favored by 34 against Idaho State. They didn't cover. And then they were 6-point favorites the very first game of the year against Arizona. They lost outright. You want to lay points with San Diego State, go for it. I'm not really excited to do that. Their offense got shut down by Air Force 13-3. And as much as I praised Jalen Maiden, the quarterback here for San Diego State, he's actually given them a bit of a downfield passing game, unlike Burmeister. But that was a rough game against a very good Air Force defense. I like what I saw from Middle Tennessee down the stretch, winning 4 of their last 5 games, and they pretty much needed to win each of their last 3 games to become bowl eligible. There was wonder if they'd get to 6 wins, but they did. Now, they did it against weak competition, 2 of them, Charlotte, Florida International. They did beat a pretty good FAU team, though, 49-21. But I like what I'm seeing from them offensively. Stockstill's been not a bad bowl coach. He's had some wins. He's had some losses. I'm definitely leaning Blue Raiders. We'll get a better indication of the thought process and the mindset of both teams closer to the game. But right now, my early lean is Middle Tennessee plus the points. Connor, what do you think here? Christmas Eve tradition, the Hawaii Bowl.
Yeah, this one, Middle Tennessee been great to the over. Maybe this is just low enough. And because their defense isn't great. They did have big wins. Even you go back to Miami, tough losses on the road where they kind of got their ass whipped for the most part. And then they beat FIU that last game by 5. I think they'll be able to score. I kind of lean over. It's just so early, like you're talking about. I want to wait and see. It seemed like I need more points, though, for Middle Tennessee. I've had a question mark on them all year. I've been surprised in a few games, and then they've kind of gone back to their old ways where they look like shit. So, and San Diego State's just been I've just been off. Where normally I'd back this team in an under. This team I have not bet much all season long. Why would I want to jump on them now? So yeah, this is a wait and see for me.
Yeah, I would lean over just because San Diego looks. Air Force is a pretty solid defense against the run, and you also look at that game. Both teams very slow paced, and you didn't have as many possessions. You only had 16 points, but San Diego State was starting to trend over. The Fresno State game went over the total. San Jose State had 70 points in it. The New Mexico game went over the total. The offense showed some throwing ability with Maiden at quarterback for San Diego State, and this number's low enough that I could see it getting up and over.
And it's been hit and miss, though, their defense, San Diego State. Like, it's been okay, and it just wasn't in some games. So tough to gauge them all year.
Yeah, and Middle Tennessee, as you mentioned, Connor, trending over the total as well. And you can make plays throwing the football. Cunningham's not a bad quarterback at all for Middle Tennessee. He's got an arm. They've got a passing game. And the secondary for San Diego State was vulnerable at times. So I think there might be enough there that you could look maybe toward over the total in this game. All right, so that's Christmas